The first time I went climbing, it just clicked with me so well. In school, I saw through the window that there was a rock climbing wall being built, and something in my heart was like, I need to go. It was just definitely excitement and awe for the wall. My mom is from China and my father is from Hungary. And at the time that they were growing up, they were both communist countries. My dad told me a story once of his time in high school where some of his classmates made a suicide pact together. And after they went through with it, the teachers essentially would tell the students that this was society's way of getting rid of the weak and that they didn't belong. And I think that's maybe a really good example of what kind of society he grew up in. Both of my parents moved to the US with no family here, no support. That kind of ability to just work through that struggle, I feel like is incredibly valuable. That mentality is something that applies so perfectly to climbing. Climbing is a sport that gives back what you put into it. I'm in a weird position where being multiracial, I don't necessarily really fit in anywhere. In school, I felt very introverted or to myself, but it was always jarring, you know, you're hanging out with people and you feel like you're part of the group, and then there's always one little comment or someone will say something that just totally isolates you from the group again. Those kind of comments made me feel like an outsider for sure. My current project is called Arrowhead Arete. It's a V10 out in South Morrison. In order to do this boulder, it's going to take everything I have learned in my time climbing to do. If I got to the top of this boulder, I would probably, I might cry. I really like climbing outside because it feels like you're going into a different world. It doesn't pit one person versus another person. It is humans versus rocks. It kind of humbles you because you just will get on something and it'll feel impossible at first, but sometimes you can surprise yourself with what you're capable of. It's fun to go to something that's within your skill level and do it quickly, but I think you grow the most when you're pushing yourself at your limit. It really forces you to just look inside because it tests your will, it tests your physical abilities, and it forces you to confront yourself. $14, $15, $16, $17, $18, $19, $20. That's a lot of moves. All right, I'm gonna give it another word.
You got it. Get your feet up. Yep. Good job.
Yeah. Woo! Yeah. Top, baby!
I was lucky enough to find climbing at a time when I needed community. It's just that it's a very inclusive environment. You know, everyone's goal is the same. Climbing is blind to race, and it satisfies this weird evolutionary need and reminds us of how we're all super similar. One of my greatest fears in life is not feeling like I have a sense of purpose. But my heart feels very full when I climb. I think there's so many anxieties and thoughts, worries you have in life, and climbing is one of those things that lets you put that aside. It's definitely a medicine for me.